morning and welcome to Winnipeg. Almost spilled it this morning. Okay. Oh, we are synced up this morning. Yeah, it got the signal last night, so it's dead on. Anyway, I got some exciting news. Yesterday, okay, let me go way back. I like to reminisce a little bit. It's about all I can do lately because I can't seem to build models. Okay, back in the 60s, I joined the YMCA here in Winnipeg. And at that time, they had two divisions in the Y. They had I think what they called the senior men's, and then they had the health club. And if you were in the cheap version of it, which I was for the first few years, you would go in and they'd give you a basket and a lock, and you'd go in. You know how it goes. But if you were in the health club side, you got your own locker, and it was a little nicer. But also in the health club, they had a steam room, or a steam bath, whatever you call it wherever you are. Now this steam bath here in Winnipeg at that time, I don't know if it still exists. I imagine it would. I can't see why they'd tear it down or change it. It was touted as one of North America's best. And I've been in a few. I've been in steam rooms in some of the larger Ys down in the United States and in Toronto. And this Winnipeg steam room was just it was beautiful. It was completely out of place. It was so good. It was big and hot. Anyway, story goes that back in the 50s, some wealthy person here in Winnipeg had donated it to the Y, and so that's why we had it. Anyway, for an extra $32, as best I remember, for an extra $32 a year, you had what was known as steam room privileges. For those of us who were just ordinary people. An extra $32, we could actually go and use this. You couldn't use the lockers or anything like that. And so for a few years, I paid the extra, and it kept going up and up and up and up and up in price, the extra that you had to pay. Finally, it got to the place where, well, I may as well just be a health club member, and it was a little bit affordable at that time. It was an expense for just an ordinary guy, but it was a little bit affordable. So I think for about maybe 10 years, I was a health club member. And I got my own locker and so on, and it was kind of nice. And the rates kept going up and up and up and up. Well, finally, we bought this house. This goes back going on almost, I guess, going close to 40 years ago. And we had a lot of extra expenses. And my annual renewal came up, and as best I remember, it was $490 or $500. It was right around $500 for a year for a membership. Well, that was a lot of money back in the 80s. And it's a lot of money now. It's half the price of the new Yamato. Anyway, I chose not to do it that for the first time in many years. Since the mid-60s, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I thought, what can I do here? Because I really miss that steam. So we had just bought this house, and I was putting a bathroom and everything in the basement downstairs, which is still there. It's right in the middle of the workshop. And I thought, you know what? How hard would it be to make insulated walls and so on, and waterproof and water resistant and stuff like that? And being sort of a hands-on type of person, I thought, I could do that. So we had a plumber coming in who was going to make a hole in the cement floor and connect the to the sewer for the toilet and the drains. So I said, how much extra would it cost to have an additional drain in the floor about 2 or 3 feet over from the other drains? Well, it turns out it wasn't that bad, so I had to put this drain in the floor, and then I built this my own little steam room around this drain, and anyway, yesterday I was coming out of my steam, and I come up the stairs because it's in the basement, and I'm just coming into the computer room because that's where my clothes are, and you do not want to envision that picture. Trust me, you don't want to think that picture. And I've got my cordless phone in my hand because I take the cordless phone into the steam with me. And you're thinking, you can't do that. Well, you can if you put it in a plastic bag. And I've been doing that for years. And that way, if the phone rings, I can say hello. I have to say hello kind of loud, though, because every once in a while, what's my phone trying to tell me here? It's jealous. It's jealous because it knows I've got a cordless phone. Okay. Anyway, my phone rings and I look at it and the call display says a number that I don't recognize. And at first I wasn't gonna bother answering it because I get probably 5 times more telemarketing calls than I do important calls. Anyway, this was an important call, and I'm glad I did answer it eventually. And it was our friend Corey in Los Angeles. And Corey, if you remember, is the person who ended up with the metal Yamato, which he built, and most of you have seen the pictures. Anyway, he was saying that I have something for you, except that I saw the other day, I saw the episode where you said, don't send me anything. So I'm thinking, what do I do? So he says, I thought I'd tell you what it is. Well, when he told me what it was that he wanted to send me, I thought, yes, that would be great. I mean, it's not like, not to offend anybody, but it's not like photo etch or something like that that's going to make my life more difficult. I'm having a hard enough time getting our Iowa done here. And I think that's more or less what I was thinking when I was saying don't send me anything, because I pretty much got everything I need. Or can handle, let's put it that way. Anyway, he said, I'm going to I'd like to send you something. This and so I said, sure. So bottom line is, finally we're getting to the bottom line. I mean, good grief, how long have I been going here? My watch battery's going to be dead by the time I'm finished. Anyway, it should be here in about, I'm guessing, 2 weeks, because he said he's going to throw it in the mail. I was going to tell you what it was, but I thought I'll keep it as a surprise. It's very model ship related, let me tell you. Yeah, it's very model ship related. So it's the only hint I'm going to give. So probably, I'm guessing 10 days, 2 weeks, or whatever, unless it gets lost in the mail. I don't think it'll be like that thing that I sent to Tasmania that literally took 2 months to get there. It must have gone in a container ship. Anyway, yeah. So I'm really excited about this because I know what it is. At least it's going to be important to me. You're probably going to care less. Anyway, well, let's get on here. What do we got? What are we going to do this morning? Well, we're going to continue on. Is what we're going to do. We were going to try and bend this. I don't know how much of it I'm going to do on camera. It's only 15.4 degrees Celsius outside. Yesterday I went for my bike ride. It stopped raining just enough that I could get out, and the bike path had dried up, and I went to the Talbot Avenue turnaround where and back, and it was cold. Even though I had my jacket on, I thought, this is no fun. So I won't be biking in the winter, I guess. Anyway, yeah. The sunrise this morning, I don't know. It's what do we got here? 7:34. Uh, it's on the bridges right now, or on the bridge, the camera, and I really don't know what's happening. Every once in a while, I take a look at it. Whether I'm going to do anything with it or not, I don't know. If I do, I'll put it at the end of today's episode again. It may or may not be interesting. It gives me something to do here. Let's get going. I can't think of any other news. Oh, we were going to check out our. Got a few comments from, or at least 2 comments from people that know that acetone won't hurt this. And this is actually the first time I'm looking at this closely, and it appears that there is no softening of the pipette. It feels the same, although it looks to me like the acetone is pretty much drained out. I guess this plug that I put on the bottom, well, if it's drained into here, it'll have evaporated. Yeah, so in other words, bottom line is acetone will not hurt pipettes. And that's what I wanted to find out. It didn't seem to affect that tubing either, so I like to actually test something. So let's continue on. Okay, I'm thinking that for a lot of these bends, we'll be able to use Andy's bender here. And yeah, because we should be able to pass this right through all the way and have it come out the other side, like this. Somebody was suggesting that maybe what we could do is if we could mount this upside down very, very carefully now. What can I put it on? I think it'd be okay if it touched on the cloth right there. I don't think it'd hurt anything. And maybe use the helping hands here to hold it so it doesn't fall over. My biggest fear is what's the word I'm looking for? Without thinking, in other words, grabbing it right here and breaking those railings off. That's probably right now the most fragile part of this, as well as this railing here that I was rubbing against yesterday when I was trying to. Okay, let's just see, what are we going to do here? Where's my helping hands here? All right. All right, we're going to want to grab this and hold it upside down. Maybe I'll use this one here. Let's just sort of hook it in here. Something like that. That'll hold it upside down, except it's at the wrong angle. Got to have it over here so I can sort of see what I'm doing. Now, if we, maybe I should have the manual here. I'm going to just have to recompose here. I'm not very organized. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, if you will notice on the drawing here that it looks like that every 90-degree bend is at a stanchion. Now, I call these fence post stanchions. I don't know if there's a better word for it in nautical terms. I'm sure that those of you who are familiar with, well, like Corey, for instance, I think Corey's very familiar with ships, and I think he was in the Navy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So people like Corey probably really cringe when they hear this Canadian landlubber just butchering nautical terms. But anyway, where we have to make a bend is at what I call a stanchion. So it should be fairly easy. And it looks like the first one we do is if we start at one end or the other, and it won't matter because because they're mirror image to each other. Oh, by the way, I think it was Aussie Frenchman was suggesting, why don't you cut it into two pieces? It might be easier. And I was thinking, yeah, but where? Where would be a good place to cut it? So I'm going to give it a try first, all in one piece. Being as I said, everything's at 90 degrees except for this one radius right here. That's the only place where we're going to have maybe a little bit of difficulty. But I think if I leave that section to last and just come in from both ends and get everything bent, and then make this bend here, which it looks like, well, you can see it right here. I could probably actually measure it. It looks like about, well, it's not, I was going to say 45 degrees, but it's not. It would be like 120 degrees or whatever. It's not square, in other words. And then probably one of the larger dowels would be just about the right size for this part right here. You know, they say talk is cheap, and I've been doing a lot of talking lately and not getting much work done. Let's just get at it here. We'll make our first bend right at the end here, and I guess the idea will be, am I going to be able to, I thought at first I'd be able to do this whole thing in anti-bender, but it could be I might have to use the bending plier here. Maybe the square bending plier might be better because it's easier to, it's not tapered. The nose of it is not tapered, whereas the nose is tapered. Actually, I do prefer these ones that I just got the other, well, it was more than the other day now, but I like these ones better. They're much more delicate, you might say. Where something like this is good if you need to bend a big part square, which is kind of what we're going to be doing here. Okay, let's get at it here. So we gotta go up right at the end here. Let's do as much as we can using the bender because it will be safer. I'll have to be really careful once I get everything clamped down in place that I don't accidentally catch with this end that's sticking out and you know, get it all bent out of shape, as the saying goes. Okay, let's recompose here so I can sort of see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, there is no way that I'm going to be able to do these bends right in the middle of a stanchion. The railing is either going to be bent on one side or the other side of the stanchion. And I wonder if I should maybe just sort of see if I can measure the width of the I guess you'd call it the wing part of this. Sort of like a little flying bridge. That's sort of what this is going to have to go around here. And you know, if I use these things here, what maybe I should do is I'll just quickly measure the width of the flying bridge, and then just see which would be best on the inside or the outside of the stanchion. Otherwise, the railing, if I make it too wide from this stanchion to this stanchion is too wide, the whole thing is not going to sit on top of it. It's going to sort of fall off, and I want it to sort of sit on top of it. And well, maybe in that case, if that's what I'm worried about, why don't I just make it narrow and have the bend on this side of this stanchion and this side of this one? Am I making any sense here? I know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's just do that. Let's have the bend on the inside, and I'm looking straight down on it here, trying to get this nice and square, and we're going to bend something like this. Let's see what happens when crank this down. I suppose I should really have the macro lens on. It should go in just a little bit more. About like that. Okay. We take our razor blade. Go underneath here. And up. Okay. I think we pretty much got that one. Now, it's going to have to be bent on this side of the other stanchion. So in other words, we want to clamp it down on the stanchion, which is something like that. Now the reason I'm tightening it down and pushing here is because if I don't, it sort of rocks over and it sometimes will twist out of shape on me. Okay, now we're going to want to bend it here, 90 degrees. It might not go over all the way. No, it's pretty close. We're going to have to be doing a lot of tweaking later anyway. Okay, now as near as I can tell, the next bend comes 2 stanchions in. In other words, like right about where I've got it sitting right now. But let's just double check and make sure. And it's got to go the other way. Now what are we gonna do? Okay, I've thought about it for a little bit here, and I think that what I should do is, as much as I can with Andy's bender, in which case that means we should maybe bend the other end the same as this. So we'll just turn everything around here very, very carefully. And as I mentioned yesterday, this is going to bend extremely easy. So where's something I can grab here? All right. Okay. Maybe we should slip the macro lens on. What do you think? Okay, I think that should do it. Maybe I should come back just a little bit here. Okay. Now, How do I get that out of there? Because it's curled up like this at the other end as well. And best I remember, this thing opens up pretty good here. In fact, as best I remember, this whole top just comes right off, so how can I get that out of there? What about if I was to, can I turn it over on itself? Let's open it up some more, I guess. There we go. All right, I think that might be the last we can do with Andy's bender here. Yeah, I don't think I can do any other bends here. Notice I got a little bit of a kink going on right here. I guess I wasn't careful at some point. Well, there's probably going to be more before we're through, right? Okay, now let's figure out how we're going to do the rest of them. Okay, let's try and orientate this thing sort of the way the drawing is here. Something like that. Oh, it won't stay. All right, so that means now that the next bend, oh, come on, Ron. The next bend, I shouldn't be holding this in my fingers like that because I might accidentally squeeze it too hard. And it is so hard to pick up. Carefully, that is. You know, when you got this ham-handed model ship maker here trying to do something with photo etch, sometimes it goes awry, as they say. Oh, okay. So the next bend has to come the opposite way at the 2 stanchions in, which is right there. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to use my large photo etch plier here and just sort of grab onto it in the right place. Okay. And then we're going to try and bend this. I'd like to do it on camera if I can, but I don't know if I can. Okay, now if I squeeze it hard there, now what can I put in behind there? Can I do it with my finger, or is it going to bend in the wrong place? Let's just see what's going to happen here. Go very slowly, so if I see something going wrong, I can stop. Okay, I think that's about 90 degrees. I've kind of got it skewed a little bit off, though, don't I? There, just push it very carefully on this stanchion that I'm poking at right now. Okay, I think I basically got it square now. All right, so then the next bend, well, maybe what I should do is do the mirror image one down here the same way. And that way I can see. This one might be easier. Yeah. Sorry to be getting my big unmanicured fingers in your way here. Like that. Okay, does that look alright? It's not too bad. I probably went a little bit too far, but as I've said, we're going to have to do a lot of tweaking here. This doesn't look right. Why does this not look right? Oh yeah, it does when I lay it down. Okay, now the next bend is 1 stanchion, which would be right here, and it goes the other way. Let's just try and grab it as close as we can while it's laying down here. Like that. Now this one has to go the other way. Just let me double check. Everything's backwards here. I got this upside down. That's the problem. Okay, so we've gone this way. Now we've got to go back out this way. Yeah, so I'll go like this. One stanchion up. Is that right? That doesn't look right. Why does this not look right? Oh, it doesn't look right because we have to bend this out. Okay, once we bend it out, then it's going to look right. Okay. Now, do I... Oh. I'm getting this kind of skewed around here. I wonder if I would be better off having it on this one right here. Like that. Okay, now don't let go of it. Squeeze hard. So now we've got to go the other way. Okay, now is it starting to look right? Let's just drop it down here. Oh, I can see I've got to do a little bit of bending here. Okay, so it goes that way and this way. Now then it's got to go one stanchion this way. Yeah, this is square here. So it's got to go one stanchion that way. And then it bends at 90 degrees. Then our next bend is not 90, it won't be the full 90 degrees. Okay, so it goes this way, this way. I'm probably driving you all crazy here. It's just I want to make sure I get this right. Maybe I should be doing the mirror image one at the same time here. So it has to go, grab it right here. Something like that. Now, I'm trying really hard to hold this delicately. Like that. Then this one has to bend. To get this one like this has to bend down. So here we go. Like that. Okay. Let's get this correct here. Okay, now then we have to make this little part right here. And that will be by grabbing it. Okay, yeah, grabbing it here. And it will also be a 90-degree bend, I think. Okay, so let me think here, yeah. No, we're at the bend now that is going to be only just partial. That's right. Let's see if we can straighten this out a bit. It's not quite straight. I'm going to have to push stop here. I'm starting to get a headache. For goodness sakes, it's not that bad. Yes, this is going to be the bend right here that is not 90 degrees. In other words, right now we're going to be doing this one right here. And it looks like Once again, I'm just going to have to kind of eyeball it a little bit here. And okay. I have a tendency to stop gripping, and when I do, it moves on me. Okay, now we don't want to go a full 90 degrees. We just want to go about like that. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm trying to get a cramp in my hand on this one. I'm going to grab it here. Okay. And we are, no, I can see here that I have to straighten those rails. I can see that I got that a little bit. Okay, that's too bad. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tweaking going on here. So now this one here has to go, which way? This way. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now what we have to do in order to get this straight is we have to make our radius right about here. In fact, that's exactly, we're not about here, it has to go right there. And it has to be the same as our model, which is over there. But you can see what's going to have to happen here. Starting to talk while I'm thinking, and it don't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, let's get a dowel here and see if we can bend this around the dowel. Maybe we can find a dowel that's the right size of this piece right here to start with. Okay, for the last little while I've been editing out everything that you have seen up until right now, and I was shocked, you might say, again at just how much. That looks pretty good. How much video I've got. Anyway, I took a bit of a break. I was watching Military Modeler Paul. I knew he was going to have an update today, and he was showing his Nelson, which is almost identical to my Rodney. But I was noticing he's got some stuff on there that I might have missed. I'm going to have to go through my Rodney manual and see if I missed something. Now I know they're two different ships, and they weren't exactly the same, but anyway, I think this is going to be just about the right size. It looks pretty good to me. So I'm just wondering if maybe the way to go on this, instead of rolling it like I normally do, I wonder, would it be a good idea to maybe, just bend it around it until it gets to the right place. At least that's my thinking on that. And then I can straighten out all the little kinks that aren't supposed to be there. But I think that's going to have to wait until the next episode, because today's episode is really, really long. And I did do the sunrise. It lasts a couple of minutes. Nothing great. Enjoy it if you want to. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.